Alright everybody, welcome to this new video. In this video I want to talk more about pre-lenders. We uploaded a video actually 1 month ago about our $100 million playbook, where we implement 4 pillars how we scale to over 9 figures in revenue on a yearly basis. And in this specific video I want to dive more into detail how we leverage different awareness stages for different pre-lenders and for different creatives. So I'm going to talk more about what are different awareness stages, what are different pre-lenders that you could use for your brand. I'm even gonna dive inside my own laptop and showcase you what are some pre-lenders that we use, like personal stories, advertorials, listicles, quizzes and much more, to give a better breakdown of how you can make these. And eventually just spitting some more value on how you can leverage this on your creative aspect as well. So let's dive straight into it. First of all, there are some basic economics you need to understand in order to craft great pre-lenders and creatives. So let's talk about the 5 different awareness stages. If you're not familiar with the 5 different awareness stages, I highly suggest you read the book Breakthrough Advertising from Eugene Schwartz, and he was gonna break down in the book exactly how it works. And that book was actually from I think around 100 years ago, and he already nailed it back then with billboard advertisements and stuff. But the moral of that story is that you have 5 different stages: unaware, solution aware, problem aware, and product aware, and fully aware. So in the beginning you want to focus always on unaware people for your brand. In the unaware stage, people have no clue about the problem, the solution, or the product itself. You have to make them aware about that they have a problem and that there's a solution and a product available on the market. If you go to the next stage, so you go to the stage where they are problem aware, people understand that they have a problem, but they don't know what is the solution or the product that could help them solve it. If you go to the middle stage, which is solution aware, they know there exists something out there, but they don't know exactly what can help them. Then you have product aware. If people are product aware, they know exactly which products they have to use, but they are not familiar with your brand yet. And you have fully aware. They are aware about the different options, the different problems, the different things where it occurs within their life. So please make sure to read the book I mentioned, and it will be much clearer for you in order to eventually craft more tailored creatives and pre-lenders for this, for your marketing. So let's dive a bit more deeper into the unaware stage, because you really have to analyze first for your brand in which awareness stage they're in. Like you have an audience pool, right? You have a specific amount of people you could target, and you really have to check in which pool the biggest majority of the people are currently in. Let's for example look at a t-shirt brand. Let's say True Classics for this instance. They are selling t-shirts for people who have a dead butt and they want to look more jacked again. So a lot of these people live either in the problem aware stage, in a solution aware stage, or in the product aware stage, because they know they have a problem. Some know that there's a solution, and a lot of people also know that there's a product available on the market. Let's say the t-shirts that they sell. And you really need to do proper marketing analysis to really see in which specific category are the most people. So it's really important to do your research, check everything online about statistics, about demographics, about genders and much more, to eventually get more into the data of your for your own business. Eventually you want to educate people in every different awareness stage that there is a solution for something. So if you look in our case, a lot of people are aware that footwear can cause different foot problems. But some people don't know which shoes can cause relief. So we need to educate them on why our shoes can bring relief to their lives, and they can live an independent life with freedom and much more. That's why we can eventually create a funnel where we can either say these are a couple of reasons why you need to, of how you can eventually make a person aware about your products and solution. You can bring it in a personal story that you give, like an example of a person who was in the same position and how he or she transitioned from having no clue what he or she was doing to having a clue and a direction where she could go to. But it's just really important that you get the moral of the story, right? You need to understand why we use pre-lenders, because we use pre-lenders to bring a person from one stage to another. We bring them from unaware, that they are problem aware, to solution aware, to product aware, to fully aware. If you, for example, are looking for, let's say, new shoes, you know exactly where to go to, which shoes you need to use for which occasion, etc. So you're almost fully aware about it. But for some problems, let's say you're having muscle pain, you know that there's a solution. Let's say you need to use magnesium, but you don't really know which specific magnesium you need to use, because there are tons of brands advertising magnesium. So you need to really educate on why your magnesium is the best and how people can benefit or get the best results from your specific product. So I also can show some examples of different prelends to use. So first of all, we have the educational prelender, and in the educational prelender, it's more long format. You're really gonna educate towards your customers on why a problem is occurring and what kind of products could help them solve this. So this one is really long format, it's a lot of text, and people take time to really dive deeper into the subject and learn more about it. You can also bring this in a personal story. So you have an education type and personal type prelender, where you bring a scenario where, for example, if we come back to the true classic example, where a person has problems in their life, he faces problems when he goes to work because he knows he has a dead butt, but he wants to get rid of it, but he doesn't go work out, so he needs to have a solution for it. So eventually the shirt, you can say it in a way where another person bought a shirt and he didn't experience those fears anymore, because eventually he looked more jacked because he wore that t-shirt. So you have like a transition within your listicle, which can be, or within advertorial, which can work really good. The other one is a listicle, where you give a couple of reasons why people should buy your product, and you can make it tailored per awareness stage. Let's say you sell sneakers. You can say 10 reasons why people who love sneakers want to buy these shoes. But you can also say 10 reasons why people who love walking buy these shoes. So you can either target the walking audience, people who just buy it because they like the designer clothing, etc. So again, you can make it more tailored to the audience you want to target. Then quizzes. Quizzes are also really important. If you do a quiz, you really let the potential customer adventure for themselves, like what they need and want, because you're gonna let them things they've tried, so you get more information, but also customers feel much more engaged because they fill in a quiz, and eventually you can tailor the product and the landing page that comes after the quiz with the results of the quiz. So if a person says he's 50 and he loves dogs and he has a wife, then you can implement those aspects as well on the eventually landing page to make it more tailored for them, and they feel like this solution is really for them. They feel like it's personalized. And then the last one, which can also be really powerful to use, is a comparison/review funnel. And in this funnel, you can showcase 4 competitors, and yourself you place as number 1, and the competitors you place as 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you eventually frame it that you are the number 1 solution and number 1 product, but you need to of course explain with great reasons why you are the solution. So those are some prelenders that you can definitely use and should implement. But what I think is the best to do is I showcase you also some examples from this. Alright, so we're currently in my computer and I want to showcase you what are some different landing pages. So first of all, this is an example of a VSL landing page. VSL
Can't go? Do this.
They gonna explain in a 20-minute long video why people who have bad they have a bad gut and they need to go to the toilet a lot of times, they're gonna explain why this happens. But you cannot skip this video. So as you can see, there's a timer here. It will take very long. There's an authority figure here who represents the company. But this is a very good way for direct response brands, but especially supplements who want to dive deeper into the root cause of a problem and come up with a solution during the video. But it's a very good way. So top New York City gut doctor, do this once a day to empty your bowels like clockwork. So I think it's a very great funnel. This is from a very big brand as well. It's called Emma Relief. So you can check this out, but again, this is not for every brand implementable. What is very good for a lot of brands is the listicle. So I want to dive into this one first, but this can definitely again be a great way for people to do it. They show social proof, authority, and they have really nailed the copy inside this funnel. I think this scale is this to millions. So the other one is a listicle. So 6 reasons why Groens is your gut health new bestie. So they're really gonna explain why taking these gummies is great for your gut health, and eventually you get some better outcomes. So first reason, you get better poops. Yeah, you'll shit better. You get a healthy gut microbiome, more energy, better mood, boost immune system, a healthy habit you'll stick to, and trusted by over 1 million monthly subscribers. So what they do is they first of all claim why it's your gut health bestie. You think, okay, that's nice. Then they explain you get better digestion, you get a healthier gut, you get more energy and a better mood. This is a very big one. It boosts your immune system, so eventually you'll be more healthy. It's a healthy habit you will stick to, so they say it's easy to take. And these are all objections that people have. So a lot of people experience low energy, they experience a bad gut, bad poop. So that's all research that they did, and they put it inside a listicle, because this is a really easy format to walk through. And eventually some authority that already over 1 million people use this. And then they come with their offer, right? So 40% off, only $1.70 per day, and you get these gummies who also are very nice to chew on, blah, 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 some social proof, but it's a very good way. And of course, you also have to check it how it looks on mobile, because it can also be really powerful. So you can see it just looks really good. Some authority as well, like as seen in housekeeping, travel, leisure. So I think this is a very great one to use as an example. And again, play around. 6 reasons, 5 reasons, 9 reasons, 10 reasons. You can do everything. Then we got the listicle. There are of course different ways to showcase the layout. But right now I want to showcase you the advertorial that can be really powerful. So this is a dog supplement brand, and what they say in here is that there's a silent struggle in a dog's gut. So they're gonna really explain why waiting could be a mistake. So of course they first got your attention with a great creative, and now they're gonna change your awareness stage. So you know there's a problem, but you don't know there's a solution in a product yet. So they're gonna make you from problem aware, they're gonna make you solution aware, because they're gonna probably provide the solution, which is their supplement. So blah blah blah, thousands of dogs are suffering from this. Okay, this is the root cause. So loose stools, palm licking, bloating, those are all reasons that can cause this. And eventually your gut is the core of your dog's health. When it's off, everything suffers. So they explain to this. How to know your dog needs this? Well, they explain all the different things your dogs need to have, and eventually one simple step that can help gut health, that can help rebalance their gut health. And then they come up with this. So it's clinically proven, loved by pickle eaters and their vets, blah blah blah. And then on the product page itself, they will go to a more tailored quiz. So it's like a double step which they use. They're first gonna explain, and then you think, hey, my dog is this amount, and then boom, they will come up with an offer specifically for you. They say like, hey, you have an offer for, you want to fight bad gut health, this is the offer we can do, blah blah blah. So again, and they explain here why it's good for your dog's gut health and why it could help. So it's a very interesting way how they approach it. But for example, you also have this other brand, it's called Grounding Well. They have like this weird sheet, finally fixed my 3-year sleeping problem. And in this video, in this advertorial, is what they're again going to explain that there's a problem. People might know there's a solution, but they don't know which problem can fix it. So they dive you through your how you say this, like a scenario that can be related to you. So I never forget waking up in my car, blah blah, missed calls, I've fallen asleep, blah blah blah. They go through this whole personal story, right? They even showcase here the whoop, And they go to this whole story. They even do Jimmy Fallon, the Earthing movie, and eventually they come up with why they need to use this. So you really need to check out the copywriting more in detail to understand how they are converting people eventually. But it all comes down that they explain why there's a sleeping problem and how you can eventually solve it for yourself. So you have a couple of other ones. I'm not gonna go through all of these, but again, here are 7 benefits. Why GLP-1 users love Primal Queen. GLP-1 users are people with obese. But again, they come with relatable reasons. He also used AI for images, I see. Everything almost, that's interesting. For example, this is one for neck pain. An advertorial. Why thousands when people with neck pain are replacing painkillers with this 3-in-1 neck relief device. So if you look clearly at this advertorial, what you will notice is that they know they have a problem. They know there's a solution because they've already tried the painkillers, but they haven't tried this specific solution, which is the neck massager. So what you need to do is you really need to nail the copywriting by saying, for example, you've tried so many things, you did so many exercises already, solutions, like this one, you've been to the chiropractor, you tried pills, but nothing is working, and eventually you come up with your solution, which is the massager. So again, a lot of examples that you can implement, and I want to showcase one last more that's about the personal story. This is also one that could be working. I'm gonna explain about the problem, how fast can you see results, and eventually everybody forwards it to their product page itself. So you just change their awareness stage. Like you're not hard selling in a specific advertorial or listicle. That is the main messaging you have to bring. You have to really educate people and don't really sell on a specific product. You have to make them aware that there is a solution, that they need to search for a solution or try things that could potentially help for them. But for example, also this one, why I dropped diets and exercises and still went from size XL to M. Well, this is actually a hook for a personal story, that a person tried this and eventually went from XL to M, and then they come with all this social proof, why it helped other people who did things to lose health and lose kilos, and eventually they showcase here the education why that is, and then eventually they come up with the solution. So a lot of different things you can implement, a lot of different awareness stages you could try, but the moral of the story is that you really have to check in which specific awareness stage your customer is, how you can educate them through different pre-landers, advertorials, personal stories, listicles, quizzes, and much more, and eventually nail your marketing in this way as well. So this is not only for the pre-lander which comes after the creative, but also those copywriting you can implement in your front-end marketing. So on your Facebook ad, in your UGC, or in your statics, because if you are targeting a very cold audience, aesthetic is most likely not going to convince them to buy the product. It needs to be done through great copy that you do in your VSL or within your UGC. Because aesthetic is typically a bottom of funnel ad. It also depends a bit on the product you're selling, but aesthetic could be a testimonial, a USP based, but some people don't even know that there is a solution. So you need to educate them more about what is the solution in a video ad, where you really tell about, hey, this is a solution you need to try. Then you have the UGC as testimonial, and an aesthetic ad will convert them because it's an offer ad. Like you have this full circle with creatives as well. And if you are getting more aware of this, you will eventually break through with your marketing much easier and eventually crush it on a better scale. Because how you can maintain high volume is by having different customer personas with different awareness stages, all on scale. So let's say you are targeting, for example, people who have gut health problems, people who have joint health problems, people who have energy problems. All those people with energy problems have different awareness stages. If you can get all those awareness stages on scale with pre-landers and creatives, and the people with gut health and joint pain as well, that's how you can maintain a high volume and eventually target multiple audiences at different awareness stages and therefore you can crush it more easily. So yeah, this was everything I wanted to talk to you about pre-landers and the different awareness stages. So make sure to take your notes from this. Check the video again. Check also the advertorials I had shown within this video and try to implement them for your brand if you're not already trying. And if you have any questions related to this, please leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them the best as possible. So please also let me know if you have any other subjects you guys want to let us to make a video about, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.